And what is going on, everybody? My name is Travis, and welcome to SF Bay Area Sports Talk, and welcome to another 49ers post-game fan hangout. Unfortunately, tonight we suffer a tough loss, 34-24 against the Buffalo Bills. And the story of this game, it comes down to Josh Allen. I mean, he had a picture-perfect night tonight, completing 32 of 40 passes for 375 passing yards with 4 touchdowns. And, there's so much to get into with this game. For the 49ers defense, we really led up tonight. I expected a much better performance from our defense tonight than what we saw out there. I really thought we would be able to contain them, not allow them to score as much as they did tonight. They got 34 points on us tonight. And, in the secondary, our safeties tonight, we allowed a lot of big plays. And, we just couldn't get a lot of pass rush or, on pressure on Josh Allen tonight. The front four on the defensive line, they really struggled tonight. And it was just tough, because the Bills, they just seemed like they had a really nice game plan and they were executing out there. And they didn't have to rely on their running game too much, but it was available to them. And so welcome in, everyone. We're going to break down this game. Hope everyone's doing good. And, we got to keep our heads held high. We still got a chance to get into the playoffs as a wild card. So no matter what, we knew that we could potentially afford to lose, one game, the rest of the way and still have a chance to get into the playoffs. So, we still got to, continue to remain optimistic. But yeah, tonight, the defense, it was tough to see out there. And, what I did like, though, is that, Nick Mullins, he did some good things tonight. Still, we're kind of going through those growing pains. Having thrown, he threw a couple interceptions and a couple of them were very costly. Of course, the one there when we were in the red zone and it appeared we had got a touchdown, on Kendrick Bourne, I think it was, and then, ends up getting turned back over, and then then we end up turning the ball over. So but Mullins, he gave himself some credit. He's very one of the mentally toughest guys out there. He is so strong mentally, and tonight was a tough one, but we're going to bounce back. So welcome in, everyone. Going to get to your comments, and I apologize if I don't get to everyone's comments. But welcome in to the show tonight. We've got Niners fan 97 in the house. Disappointing game. I feel you so much right there. And right now, what's making me still feel good is that, we still have a chance to get in. And so our season's not officially over yet. And so we can win the next 4 games, be 9-7. And I do believe we're probably going to, need some help around the league. So I don't believe we control our own destiny right now, but, we're just going to keep battling. I mean, we've been through so much adversity this season. And, I'm just telling you, I'm going to keep the faith, and we got to step it up. Got the freak in the house. I see we got Tim Lincecum. This is absolutely amazing. And I say that because I was working out last night watching an old Giants game, and Tim Lincecum was pitching. So welcome into the show. Our defense was pathetic tonight. And yeah, right there with you. It was tough to see. I had liked how our defense had been playing of late. They were starting to pick it up. But tonight against a good Bills team, this Bills team coming in, they were 8-3. Allen, he seems very composed out there. And, growing up a 49ers fan, you had to imagine he was feeling a lot of emotions in this game. But, that appeared to not affect him in the way that he played tonight. Because, he was just on his game. Why no jet sweeps? And yeah, that's true. We didn't see a whole lot of that, those plays and, getting the ball in Deebo Samuel's hands. I don't think Samuel touched the ball as much as we would have liked to have seen him, touch the ball tonight. And so, they shut us down. Our running game was, non-existent tonight. I think we had got the numbers here. Jeff Wilson Jr. rushing, 7 carries for 47 yards. And then Mostert, he just had 42 rushing yards tonight. And, that's the key with this 49ers offense is we need the running game and establishing the running game so that, it helps open plays up in the passing game. And, so many things with Kyle Shanahan's playbook. But when, teams are able to stop our running game, then it gets really tough because, then they can kind of game plan against the passing game and other things. And so, just tough to see out there. And towards the end, those were some garbage minutes. In terms of like we were down by 3 scores with about 2 minutes to play. So, but you saw Samuel make a big play there at the end. So, give credit to the 49ers, never giving up, always trying to finish strong all the way through and, try to build something to carry into next week's game against Washington. And, in that game too, we can't take it lightly because, we saw today Washington with a huge win over the Steelers. And, hats off to Alex Smith, one of my favorite quarterbacks ever. And, to still see him in the league is amazing for someone like me who started watching 49ers football October 2006. So, Smith got drafted 2005. So the fact that he's still in the league, and also I would say Frank Gore as well, that's so amazing. So, yeah, that game is going to be tough going up against Alex Smith. But, we got what it takes to get this win and to, again, give us this chance to have Jimmy Garoppolo and George Kittle coming back the last 2 games of the season. And if we can win these next 4, we got a chance. And, right now that's what we're thinking here. How about the flop on 3rd and 18? Oh yeah. Just sometimes, so we got Tyler Burbeck in the house. Breaking news. I did actually see that the notification on my phone. So yeah, that's huge. That with that trade just now going down. And I'll see if I might do a video or not tomorrow or something, but we'll see. 49ers played well versus the Bills and hung in there. I thought we might. Yeah. So, I'm right there with you, Tyler. I think we knew that we all knew this was going to be a very tough game tonight. And I did like our chances. I thought, again, we played a lot of games, really competitive this year. But, what it comes down to is, Mullins, and then, we're making good drives and sometimes costly turnovers, interceptions. And so, we saw that tonight a little bit. And yeah, this is just a tough game to accept because I felt like we did a lot of good things tonight. And even coming back there at the end, looked like the game was over. And then you saw how quickly the Niners striked. They went 2 big plays back to back to punch it in the end zone. Right before the end of the 3rd quarter, the big throw to Brandon Ayuk, it was like 47-yard catch. And then boom, they give it to the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. He goes out to the right on that play, gets in past the pylon for the touchdown. And, you're really feeling good at that point. And, if our defense can make some stops, we're still in this game. And then, Allen and that Bills offense, they just proved to be too much tonight. They were so explosive. Yeah. You're right. We got Rhyme. I apologize if I don't pronounce Rhyme Seam in the house. Yeah, you're right. The interceptions weren't his fault. The one interception, it was kind of batted away from Ayuk and into the air. So yeah, that one definitely not his fault. The second one he threw, he did kind of throw it in very tight coverage. So yeah, I would say it wasn't his fault because the defender, he made a really nice play on the ball in the end zone. So yeah, you're right. It wasn't entirely his fault, but, there were still some things that, he can improve on. Too scared to run touch passes against the defense. Yeah, I think you're right on that because, this Buffalo Bills defensive line was just incredible tonight. They were really putting the pressure on us and making it really tough. Again, they shut our running game down, and what we've seen this year is when the Niners running game is non-existent. It really makes it tough. And, missing the guys that were missing on the defensive front, D Ford being out still, obviously Bosa and Thomas. The defensive line for the 49ers tonight did not have a good game. And, we knew it would be tough to go up against a really good Bills offensive line. I mean, look, Josh Allen seemed like he had all day today on several plays. And they were just hitting us with so many big plays today. Defense was just completely outplayed. Zone coverage was not working. Man coverage was not working. And the Bills, they had a good game plan. So you got to give credit to their offensive coordinator and how they, just kind of the way they were calling plays and scheming against Robert Saleh and how he likes to run our defense. And, if we could have just got one defensive stop, could have been a huge turnaround in this game. We lost by 10 and just one stop, it really could have been the difference. But a lot of plays tonight that really, it's these are frustrating games because you have a lot of exciting moments. You feel confident. Even when we fell behind 14 points, you felt like we can still come back in this. That's right. Yeah, the illegal touch. We had that negated the interception there, and those are key, crucial plays in the game. When we're talking about momentum and things like that, Mullen needs to. He keeps throwing games. His interception rate is basically 1.5. Interception average, and it has not been good, so Mullins, he's had a lot of good games in making great plays and throwing for large amounts of passing yards, but the interceptions are where he really needs to improve. And because it seems like it's just tough, and he's still getting better in making his throws in the pocket. And, they put up an interesting stat sheet tonight during the game. But Mullins is third, NFL history and how many passing yards he's thrown in his first, I think, 20-something starts or so. So you had, Patrick Mahomes up there. I forget who else it was. But, Mullins has had a lot of some big games, and but he's made a lot of mistakes. And with a young quarterback, who's still developing, and, he's a guy that, I do think, again, with more practice, that I do believe he could be a, really good starter in the NFL. And, I don't know, obviously, if that will be with us or another team. But, right now he is a guy, for the Arizona game and for the last two games, this defense struggles too much against dual threats. Notice how they clamp Goff because he's a pocket quarterback. Yeah, absolutely. And we just for some reason seem to struggle against these, mobile quarterbacks, guys that, again, they can really be explosive in creating, extending plays with their legs. And, with Allen, he's really good at going to his right and throwing and making throws on the run. And so, you're a really great take here. I agree with you on that. Against the Rams, Goff, Goff is an interesting QB because right now a lot of people are doubting him, and he needs to improve. So, for us to, it was a great win last week to shut him down and to do what we did and to kind of show him who's boss, so. Yeah, and so continuing to break down this game, we're going to break down some of the overall stats. So, like we said, Allen tonight, just a career night for him. And so this was just tough, but, we're going to bounce back strong. Game started off great and then fell apart exactly like the Saints game. And, couldn't have be more true right here. It's unfortunately how it went. And, when I'm thinking back to the Saints game, I feel a lot of those similarities with this game tonight. The Saints game, we came out, we were playing strong, And I think even by halftime, we were still in the game, just like this game. I think we were down by I think 10. I think it was. We were down today at halftime. But yeah, it's just tough. We've had a lot of these nail biter games this year, and games that we play decent enough to potentially win, but then our mistakes cost us. The Saints game, it was the turnovers. And yeah, this game you can point to, our defense really struggling out there, the secondary struggling and giving up big plays, and our defensive line tonight. And then, offensively, we weren't able to get the running game going. At least Arizona's turf field was nicer than MetLife versus the Jets. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so thankful we, were able to get through those games. And I mean, with as little injuries as possibly as we could, for what it was. And yeah, I really pray that the NFL does something about that field, because, I really feel for the Jets and New York Giants that they have to play 8 games at that just horrible turf field. And, it's not good on the body. And even in baseball, no matter what, if you play on turf, it's going to wear your body down even more. And to be honest, I'm sure it's probably cutting a lot of years away from players' playing time in their careers. So they got to do something. Let's see. I've got Kevin's cards in the house. What is going on? Hope you're doing great tonight and hanging in there, as we all are tonight. What are the hopes for the 49ers to get back on their feet? Don't watch much football, but I watch today's. So yeah, I had a great question here. And so yeah, the quick rundown with this is, again, this 49ers team, we're starting to get players back on our offense. Guys like Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. And again, they were our 2 most explosive playmakers today. And man, Deebo Samuel last week has a career high performance. His first game returning against the Rams. He lights them up for 11 catches, 133 yards. And, he is essentially a wide receiver, or he's a running back playing wide receiver. And so I love watching Deebo Samuel. And tonight, if you look at the stat line overall, he had, 6 catches for 73 yards. So again, backed up his great performance last week. And you saw him there towards the end of the game when he broke that big play. I loved it because, at that point in the game was essentially over. But you're still seeing Samuel really always giving it 110%, going 110 miles an hour. And so really it was incredible. And so, getting these guys back, and when and right now, look, 49ers, we got to win 4 games right now. And, you look at the schedule, it's not going to be easy. Washington, we know with Alex Smith, that's going to be fun. We can't overlook that matchup. Dallas, again, it seemed like it would be an easy win, but we can't let our guard down. So we got to come in and come in and step the foot on the gas pedal. But if we can get these 2 wins here and then be in a situation, with Jimmy G coming back and George Kittle coming back, and, we'll see if we can maybe get some guys back as well on defense. I don't think D Ford will be back this year or not. But, that's going to be the key. If we can running game going, again, Mostert, he returned last week against the Rams as well. So that was huge when we got Samuel and Mostert. So again, getting these huge offensive weapons, that is where I believe that this 49ers team can still win out from here, and be 9-7. And then, if we get some help, we can still be, a team that can get into the playoffs. And I'm telling you, if we sneak in, we are going to be a dangerous team. And, I really believe we can go deep in the playoffs, because I think we would be getting healthy at just the right time. And again, with how explosive our offense can be with the weapons we have, when George Kittle comes back, we're going to have all 3 of the Yak brothers back on the field. And I mean, just imagine how incredible this offense is going to be. And then you have the fullback Hughes check. You got Mostert at running back, and then you also have, and so, we have so much playmakers on this offense, and, so explosive. And then if we can get clutch performances from our defense, they can have bounce from this game. We're going to be sitting in a pretty good situation to, again, tackle these next 4 games. 49ers, Cowboys. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I believe the schedule had it already as Sunday night, but thank you so much, Tyler, for that. I can't wait for that Sunday night matchup. It's going to be a fun one. And let's see. We got Chris. Apologize if I pronounce this wrong. Masood. Holy crap! You're 3 quarters full. This game wasn't. I wouldn't say that. So I'm not sure what you're trying to say here, but I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you. This game was close. Okay. We were starting to come back there at the end, in the third, not necessarily at the very end of the game, but in the third quarter, 49ers, again, it all came down when we made that big touchdown at the end of the third quarter. 2 back-to-back explosive plays got us right back into the game. It was a 10-point game going to the fourth quarter. And yeah, as we know, our defense could not get the stop we needed. Bills were able to respond with another touchdown, and it went back to being up by 17. But look, a 10-point game going to the fourth. Yeah, that to me is a close game. And, for what it was, I mean, hope they flex the Sunday night game. I hope, so I believe, it is actually already flexed in. So can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome. This game was close. Kinlaw has improved as the season has gone on. Welcome in Rob Iman to the house. And yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. Kinlaw has been so impressive, of late. He's really gotten a lot better. And even tonight, you see him making big tackles. I mean, the dude is explosive out there and, making stops on, certain running plays that the Bills were running. So, I'm really been happy with how Kinlaw has played. And again, we're always going to probably think about DeForest Buckner and, almost try to compare the two because, we essentially didn't want to pay Buckner, 18, 19 million per season. And instead we go with the rookie in Kinlaw. And, to me, that is smart because Kinlaw, again, with him being so young, you never know what type of talent he can turn into. And, with a rookie, you obviously have club control in terms of, in his early years, you don't have to pay him, that much. And yeah, so I think, if the Niners would have paid DeForest Buckner, it would have made it that much harder to, not only, were we able to, pay Kittle his big extension. But yeah, so I think 49ers, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and this front office, I think they made the smart decision trading away Buckner, as difficult as it was. And, we know how incredible of a leader he was on this defense and the impact that he had. But what I would say that I think is so awesome is that, Buckner really helped, a lot of these younger players on this defense, become leaders in their own right. Like Fred Warner, I mean, the linebacker, the best in the NFL right now. I mean, his IQ and his awareness on the football field is incredible out there. So, there's a lot still to be feeling good about from this game. We got Big E in the house. Welcome in. Sorry for the loss. I feel your pain. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Big E. And I know that it can be hard to, we have the rivalry, of course, but, at the end of the day, we know how it is when you put yourself in someone else's shoes. And so, yeah, this one was tough tonight. But, I'm still remaining optimistic. I think, again, but the losses we've had this year haven't, some losses we've been blown out. But, I really like the fight that this team has shown this year, coming back in games and never quitting and never giving up out there. Still haunts me. So I mean, I think the what if game is, sometimes we can be guilty to like to think of those things in our head sometimes. But yeah, it's it's always tough out there. But I think you look at how things went, and again, getting Brandon Ayuk, it was the key because to get him, at the end of the first round and also get Kinlaw, because that was the big thing, is that I think the 49ers in the draft, they didn't want to get a big receiver at 13, and then in the way that they went, they were able to get two really great players out there. So in getting Javon Kinlaw and getting Brandon Ayuk. So yeah, continuing to break down this game. So yeah, Bills, if we're looking at their running game tonight, Devin Singletary, he had 18 carries for 61 yards. But when you have Allen passing for 375 yards, you really don't need a whole lot of running. And so yeah, it was how that went. The good thing is that the remainder of our schedule is manageable, especially if the Seahawks start their backups in week 17. As much as I would love to see if they, started their backups, I don't care. I'll probably do that. Any chance I think he gets to knock out a division rival, I think he's definitely going to put all foot on the gas pedal. And so, we're going to have to be ready to play. And, with Kittle coming back and Jimmy Garoppolo coming back, it appears for the Arizona game on December 26th, we're going to be ready for Seattle. And I think we're going to have to beat them to get into the playoffs. So, hopefully everything works out in our favor to have that matchup. Just like last year, except last year when we played them, the last game, it was for the division title. But this time it appears it'll be to get into the playoffs. And so continuing, so yeah, you look at the big playmakers from Buffalo tonight. Got to give credit to them. They, again, our secondary they were just terrible tonight. To be fair, it was just tough. A lot of big plays and, a lot of drives were extended by the Bills tonight. It seemed like anytime we might have got some momentum, we got a sack, on one drive, we pushed them back 5 yards. It was 2nd and 15. Then they get, a nice chunky yardage on 2nd down. And, when you give up, when you give 3rd and manageable situations to a good offense, they find many different ways to exploit you. And tonight, Cole Beasley for the Bills tonight, he had 9 catches, 130 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. Stephon Diggs, the great receiver, he had 10 catches, 92 yards. And then the rookie, Gabriel Davis from the Bills, he had 3 catches for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. And again, a lot of chunks of those yardage came on big plays. And so, yeah, this was just tough. This game reminded you a lot of kind of like the shootout from the Niners and Saints game last season, when you had both teams, going right at each other explosively, scoring back and forth. And thought maybe it seemed like early on a lot of scoring going on. But yeah, this is tough to lose tonight. And because, at least if we got this win, and we would still have been on track to finish 10-6. And if you would have gone 10-6, I think you wouldn't have to worry about what other teams are doing. But now we're going to need some help, and we're going to have to, take it one game at a time and try to somehow pull out these last 4 games. And, the good thing is that, the good thing is that we're not going to play Arizona and Seattle until the final 2 games. So at least, we don't have to face them without Jimmy G and without Kittle. So, that is something that will obviously really be a huge impact, getting those 2 guys back. And, you've seen how much of a difference, getting Mostert back has been, and getting Deebo Samuel back, and obviously Brandon Ayuk as well, since we know due to, we won't say the name of it, but why Ayuk had, but yeah, now with Ayuk returning, so absolutely huge. So yes, it's still a lot to remain optimistic about. And, another thing too is Mullins, he's still going to get better with each start. He's got to keep working out those the more experience he gets, the better. And I think he's going to be able to, just continue to improve and lead us to some big victories coming up. And, we just need him here to get these next 2 wins until Jimmy G can return. I think you should start wearing your helmet again. Look how good they did in the Super Bowl when you wore it. Yeah, that is a great point you make there, because the Super Bowl, I did not wear my helmet in the second half, and we're not going to say that superstitious and all that, but the thing with the helmet though is that it was very uncomfortable to watch the game with the helmet on. So I don't think I would do that. But it was to do that for the first time. Wear the helmet for one of my videos during a game, and to have it be a Super Bowl. So whatever we got to do, we're coming back strong. So no matter what, as much as this loss is going to hurt and sting right now, looking at the bright side of things, again, at least the season is still not over, because once if we've been officially eliminated, that's when it's going to be really tough to, then you're really going to start thinking about this season, because again, we all had those high expectations, and again, they still are valid. I think we can still run the table and run it all the way to the Super Bowl. Again, at this point, everything is going to have to work smoothly. All the puzzle pieces fit together. Big performances in these next 4 games. And, with the 49ers experience from big games last year, you saw down the stretch, we went up against some big teams and we were able to get those wins. And as now we've started to get healthy again and getting guys returning. So, I'm still very optimistic. And again, our next 2 games are very winnable games, with Washington and Dallas. And as we know, you never take any game lightly in the National Football League. And, evidence of that, obviously, this week, and worked out in our favor, the New York Giants beating the Seattle Seahawks. I enjoyed watching that so much, especially the ending of that game. And then, saw a little bit today of Washington against the Steelers. So, when you have these matchups like the Niners have with Washington and Dallas coming up, you have to be mindful to, not let your guard down, treat it like any other game, come ready to play. So that's what we got to do. And if he returns fully healthy, absolutely true. And I do think he will be pretty healthy. I think he could have returned potentially in 6 weeks, but the Niners want to be extremely careful to, I think not rush him back too much fast. Give him a couple weeks. So, give him about 8 weeks of recovery. And so I think that's the smart thing to do. Let me get a quick drink of hydration. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. But so I'm pumped right now because I'm still remaining hopeful, and we're gonna do this, you guys. So got to keep the faith, as we know, and so next 2 games versus the NFC. Oh, I love it, the NFC least. Yeah, that is right, the worst division in football. And I mean, of late they've been doing better. Washington looking better. I think the New York Giants have won 4 in a row now. So but they are still the NFC least. That's a good one. I love it. So don't underestimate them. They've been playing good football, except for the Eagles. And you're right. The Eagles, they've been a huge disappointment. And the more that I see the Eagles, I just shake my head because, I'm thinking, how in the world did we lose to that Eagles team in Carson Wentz? Obviously, with us being 5-7 right now, any one of our 7 losses we can look at, and we can probably nitpick a lot of things in those games, and a lot of things that if they went different ways, the outcome might have been different. And I mean, this season, we've had to go through so much adversity. As we all know, lead the NFL and games missed due to injury. This roster has just been decimated. And again, I give this team and Kyle Shanahan and, all the coaching staff a lot of credit for keeping, this team focused and hungry and still giving it everything they got and still fighting. And again, we're still in it at 5-7. We're still in the hunt. And, that's all you can ask for, when you're starting to get this late into the season. So yeah, we got to keep the positive perspective. And, we can go out and have a good game against Alex Smith. And again, it's going to be strange. Anytime going up against Alex Smith, I went to the first game, Kaepernick against Smith, the first year of Levi Stadium. I went with my dad. So I think that was the fourth, or I think that was the fifth game of the year that year, 2014. So we went 8-8 that season. And we were 2-2 when I went to that game. And, that was a fun one against Alex Smith. Of course, he was with the Chiefs then and now with Washington. And so, man, Smith, I tip my cap to him. And, to go through that injury and to still be competing in the National Football League, the guy is the toughest guy out there mentally. And, man, I am just incredibly happy to see Smith doing what he's doing. Of course, I hope hopefully we rock him next week. We'll get him next week and try to get this win. Nick Mullins is the reason we lost to the Eagles. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. That game, it was, Mullins really cost us bad. And, Befford ended up playing, a decent chunk parts of that game. And so, yeah, it just tough. We got Bach Lava in the house. What is going on? Hope you're having a great night tonight, as everyone is tonight. So I am doing great here. And I'm feeling it from the loss tonight. But again, I think as we know, we got to have short-term memory, forget about this, figure out, okay, what do we need to work on this week in practice? What do we need to focus on in the practice reps? And so, the 49ers, we're going to evaluate the tape, look at the film, and again, really break down this game. And, again, we knew that the 49ers could still afford one loss, these last 5 games. And so I feel like, if you were going to have that one loss, the Bills maybe seemed like obviously probably the game we might lose out of the, Washington, Dallas. And in order for us to get into the playoffs, we have to beat Arizona and Seattle. So, that is, of course, again, not a given, but with Jimmy G and Kittle coming back and us having Mostert at running back, I feel like you have a huge chunk of the offense and all of those weapons to be competitive enough to, again, pick up and compete with Arizona and Seattle and somehow get those wins. So, yeah, I like our chances to, run the table here to 4-0, and we'll pray that, we get some help from other teams. Haven't checked out the schedules of the and the other teams we're fighting it out with in that wild card. Really wish the Cardinals could have. I'm with you, Tyler. Come on, when we're watching a home game, we need to have the beautiful 49er SF logo right there on the middle, smack dab in the middle of the field. I think it was the NFL logo tonight. So that just was kind of weird to me. But they did do some things. I put the logo and a lot of graphics in the stands. So at least they did something. And but yeah, it is weird still to think that, we've been practicing and, we're having 2 home games in Arizona. They need to develop a defense against dual threats, maybe add a spy. I think obviously when we're thinking about the people we're missing this year, on that defensive line, Bosa and Solomon Thomas and, D Ford's been out. So that defensive line has again been gotten thinner this year, and it's been very tough. And so this defense, they've shown that they can shut down dual threat quarterbacks And, we've competed with, Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray, playing against them 2 times a year, that really helps our defense to get that experience against those quarterbacks. And again, tonight, breaking down the film, this defense, I really hope that they take this loss to heart, in the sense that, it motivates them. They come ready to hit the film tomorrow, and just ready to put in the work to be ready to go for Washington. And so, I think it's optimistic that this defense is going to get back to, the number one defense that we know of, in terms of, if we're looking at by next season for sure, once everyone's returning. But even this year, I still think we can be a pretty good defense, and we can still make stops. And again, this year, you've seen this defense, hold their own. The Seattle game, again, just like that game, we did pretty decent in the first half. And the Saints game, same thing. We kind of are keeping it close. The defense, I think this defense will bounce back. And if we can get some guys returning as well, will be huge. Do you think Mostert could have been used more? I think maybe we could have used them more. But, I think with how great that Bills defensive line was playing and the pressure that they were putting on, I think it made it tough to get Mostert going. On the night he had total, let's see if I got it. He had 42 rushing yards tonight on 9 carries. So, I definitely think, could we have gotten him the ball more? Yeah, absolutely. 9 carries. That's not going to cut it. The Green Bay Packer game in the NFC Championship, Mostert probably had that, 20 to 25 carries in that game. And so that's the key, and when you're running the football really well, the other benefits of that is that, you're tiring the defense out. And so that's really huge. And this Bills defense, at times, it looked like we were getting them tired. They looked like they were gassed. And that was why I felt like, that we had a great chance to come back in this game and, to be able to have that chance. I think it's going to be really huge to get that running game going efficiently. And I think we should be able to do that against Washington. And so we'll see what's going to happen the rest of the way. Also think that I saw one or both of the touchdowns had Arizona. Okay. Oh yeah, the end zone. So it was weird to, again, see the mixture of 49er and Arizona Cardinal logos throughout the stadium. At least it's a red stadium. So in some ways it does, kind of feel like Levi's, but, obviously, of course, not close to the real thing. Not the real thing. Washington football team coming off a huge win against the Steelers. It's going to be tough. And, maybe this could be a trap game for the Washington. You have to imagine that right now their emotions are as high as they can possibly be. And I think Ron Rivera, the coach there, he said this was one of the, I think that he said this is one of the, most biggest games that he's ever been a part of. So, I would pay close attention early in this game against Washington. Are they still kind of, this week in practice, are they still thinking about the emotion of that win? And, of course, they're still in that division. So I do think that will help them to keep their focus. So, this is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a good one. And Alex Smith, again, I he's a guy, it's very tough to you wouldn't bet against a guy like that. So I think it's going to be a close one with Washington, and it's going to be a fun one. So we'll see what's going to happen. So continuing breaking down the game, for the 49ers, leading receivers tonight. So we got Brandon Ayuk with another fantastic performance. He, of course, returns after missing the game last week. With 5 catches for 95 yards and had a big touchdown. So absolutely phenomenal to have Brandon Ayuk back. And I love it. One of the 3 Yak brothers, the yards after catch, they are the best in the league. No one does it better than we do. When we got Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, just absolutely incredible out there. Let's see, I'm going to get some water real quick. And and then of course Deebo Samuel tonight. Would have liked to have seen him. If we could have got him involved in more plays. Whether it's those jet sweeps that we do sometimes with him, and get the ball in his hands, and then as we know, we have some of the best run blockers in the league. Our guys do a really great job of putting blocks on there. So Samuel tonight. He had 6 catches for 73 yards, and he had a big play there, towards the end of the game when the game was already decided. But yeah, Samuel, absolutely phenomenal. He's coming off of the career high 134 yards and 11 catches from last week. So yeah, that'll be key to get him more involved next week. Get him involved in, running plays, and also continuing to do so in the passing game and getting those deep throws and things like that. Yep, Kyle Juszczyk had a great game. He has just been continuing to do phenomenal work. I love watching him out there, and that was huge on that touchdown play. And he's a guy 49ers you've seen they've gone to on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 situations. You saw it in the Rams game last week. We went to Juszczyk on a close 4th down play. And that's just genius to me, because you look, if you're a defense and if it's 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, and you're thinking about, okay, what would Kyle Shanahan call in this situation? And so, with Mostert at running back, that could be an easy call. You can be like, oh yeah, they're going to feed it to Mostert to try to get that 1 or 2 yards. So you know what? We're going to run a run blocking play on defense. But then also you have to think, the threat of the pass, of doing like a short pass. And so, that's where Kyle Juszczyk, when you got that third potential play that you can run, that's how you can confuse defenses. You can throw them off. And that's why I think that these 2 plays in particular, the play we saw today, for Juszczyk on that, I think 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, giving it to him, absolutely huge. Defense is not expecting that. And so, Juszczyk continuing to do a great job. He's the best fullback in the NFL. Just keeps putting in the work out there. And so, and then when you're looking at the defense tonight, so we'll look at some of the leading tacklers from the game. Jason Verrett was your 49ers leading tackler with 11 tackles tonight. There were a couple plays that he let get by, but again, Verrett's just been absolutely phenomenal this year. His story has been so amazing. I mean, he's had to overcome so much adversity. I think his first 5 years in the league, he's, dealt and went through some type of injury. And so I give so much credit to the guy continuing to fight in the league. When you go through that, it could be easy to give up or just think that, maybe I need to retire or walk away from the game. But I love it when a guy like that, Jason Verrett, keeps fighting, and, to see him have the type of season he's having this year. He's been one of the best, ratings in terms of lockdown on corners. So, man, he's been huge. So he had 11 tackles today. Dante Johnson, he had 6 tackles today as well. Dre Greenlaw, the young, phenomenal linebacker, as we forever famously remember him as getting the stop last year against Seattle at the 1-yard line. Greenlaw today with 4 tackles. This defense, again, like we said, it was not a good performance today, but they have been playing a little bit better here in, this middle stretch of games, and, versus early in the season. And so, the defense has to play much better next week against Washington. The defensive line, especially, you can't have what happened today happen again, because the defensive line today, I think we put pressure, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 plays. I'm not sure how many sacks we got today, but yeah, it was almost non-existent. Allen, he just had all the time in the world to make throws and make those deep throws. And, again, it's too many explosive plays allowed by the secondary. But you see, the problem here is that, Buffalo was they were calling a lot of smart plays. And if you're Buffalo and, all of these things are working, you got the running game going, you got the passing game going, they were throwing so many things at us. And, it was tough to counteract that. For us on the defensive side of things. So yeah, I do think this 49ers defense will definitely improve from this game. Again, a tough matchup with Buffalo, but yeah, we have to pick it up because, even if our offense is explosive, as we know, and they can put up some points, today, 24 points. And, just imagine you put Jimmy Garoppolo back in at quarterback. Of course, he's not going to likely make those, mistakes that we've seen Mullins making with the interceptions and things like that. So, we've been in these games, and so we're fighting out there, and, we're getting better, and Mullins continuing to improve. So yeah, you have to we have to take the good and also take the bad for what it is. And, be realistic. So I won't be too disappointed if they don't make the playoffs this year, because I know that they'll do better once healthy next season. And yeah, I'm absolutely right there with you, mentally and emotionally. I think we all have to prepare for the possibility that this might not be our year and we could potentially not make the playoffs. But as we know, until we've been, officially eliminated, we're going to keep believing in this team and keep putting in that work. So, but yeah, I think for everything we've been through, to be where they are, and to, again, we've gotten some big wins this year. I mean, to sweep the Rams, that's incredible. And to be in a lot of games this year. So yeah, I'm really proud of our 49ers and what they've gone through this year, and to still be playing competitive football. And absolutely right there with you. Next year, I mean, you get everyone healthy. You get Bosa back, Thomas back. Excuse me. Yeah, it is going to be so phenomenal. So really cannot wait. And yeah, we'll see what's going to happen the rest of this year. As we know, it's not over till it's over. Can't believe the 49ers defense fell apart after the first quarter. And yeah, it's tough. Football can be a game of momentum sometimes. And, the Bills, they kept marching down the field. I mean, they were making big plays. Again, their offensive line played absolutely lights out. And when your offensive line is doing a great job, it gets your running game going, and it opens up so many things in the passing lane. And yeah, 49ers defense, again, they did a good job early. We got some stops against Buffalo. And then, yeah, things just kind of started to run away from us. And then, when you have, again, sometimes those costly turnovers, I think we had, yeah. So, just so many things. Sometimes these things happen, and yeah, we got to bounce back this defense, and I think confident that we can do it. And so, yeah, we're going to be winding up here on this post-game show. And so before we do, we're going to get to our picks of the game tonight. And so let me know in the comment section who you guys got as your pick of the game. And I am thinking, let's see. We got to be honest with ourselves. Josh Allen is, the player of the game tonight. He grew up a 49ers fan. So the man, he had to imagine he was feeling a lot of emotions to play against his childhood team. And so you never know how that can go. But, he really held his composure tonight. And, he was phenomenal out there. 4 touchdowns, 375 passing yards. He only had 8 incompletions. So, he was 32 of 40 tonight. So, I mean, yeah, we tip our cap to Josh Allen. We knew going in this matchup, it was going to be very tough. So, yeah, he is my pick. But in terms of from the 49ers side of things, since, definitely want to acknowledge who did well for us on. And so tonight, again, Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, the 2 of the 3 Yak brothers, always getting it done out there. They were phenomenal. Deebo Samuel, again, still a decent performance, 6 catches, 73 yards. Could have got the ball in his hands more often, possibly, but and Ayuk, he had 5 catches, 95 yards, had that big touchdown. So, they did good. And Kinlaw tonight also keeping up the phenomenal rookie season that he has been having. So that was absolutely great to see. And so, yeah, we got a lot of work to do in this next week to prepare and to bounce back from this game. And so, again, to lose by 10 with everything that happened, was actually not too bad for what it was. So, we're going to, keep our heads held high, keep thinking positive things, and, just absolutely excited to see what's going to happen the rest of the way. And again, knowing that we're going to get Jimmy G and Kittle coming back those last 2 games, I really like our chances to get these 2 wins against Washington and against Dallas. And, so we could be sitting at 7-7 and then getting our quarterback back, we'll have all 3 Yak brothers. And so, yeah, we'll be able to do some damage those last 2 games. And then once we get in the playoffs, anything is on the table then, so we'll see what could happen. The Rams have lost 4 straight to the 49ers. I think the Rams are shell shocked. Absolutely. Yep. We have swept them the last 2 years, and it has been incredible. We got Sean McVay's number. We got him the target. We've been nailing the bullseye, doing phenomenal the last 2 years. And these have been huge wins. The game last week, a huge win to get that win, 23-20, and to have Robbie Gould kick that game winner. And yeah, you see the importance of a win like that in where we are now, because if we don't, get that win last week, right now we're sitting here talking about, having been eliminated. So, thank goodness we're still alive for another week, and we still, we still got hope. And so that's the best thing that we can ask for, to be this late in the year and knowing that you still got a fighting chance. And especially that, we wouldn't be just some, a weak wild card team getting in. If we, again, I'm sure if if we weren't as decimated by injuries this year as we have, I definitely think this team was, my preseason prediction, I had us going 14-2 this year. And, I really believe that, because I was, thinking about the season we had last year being 13-3 and everything we were doing so well from last year carrying over into this season. And so, yeah, this season, yeah. So if we can get in the playoffs, we are going to be just as dangerous in the playoffs as we were last year. And it would just mean that, we would have to go through another extra round in the playoffs. And if you guys remember, the one season we had, I think, in the Jim Harbaugh era, where 49ers got in as a wild card, I think we were 11-5 that season. And, we had to beat Green Bay on the road at Lambeau Field. And what a game that was. And we got the game-winning field goal. And Kaepernick was our quarterback then. And so those were some amazing times. And, yeah, that playoff run, I think, and then we beat Carolina in the divisional round. And, yeah, as we know, unfortunately, then that set up the Seattle matchup in the NFC title game. So, yeah, this 49ers team can do something similar to what they did that season, roll off the wild card and divisional round. And, yeah, we know it's going to be a dogfight the rest of the season. And so, yeah, as again, I'm optimistic that we could still be in the playoffs. So that's the best thing that we can, look forward to right now is a fighting chance. So again, we're gonna wrap up here tonight, and so before I end the show, I want to thank each and every one of you all for your tremendous support. It has been absolutely incredible, and I love doing these shows with all of you guys and girls out there. So much fun and hanging out, and win or lose, we're gonna be here breaking it all down, talking 49ers. And so I love hearing your perspectives and hearing what you all think. And, this has just been so much fun. And, I can't thank you all enough for all your support. You guys are truly the best football family out there. And, I really appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I would not be here doing these shows without you all. So, I not only do I get to, look forward to watching the 49ers game, with my family, but I also get to look forward to talking 49ers football with you all. So again, thank you so much. And if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up button to show your support. It really helps out the channel, and you guys have been destroying that like button. So thank you so much again. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to next week. 49ers, let's get this win. Let's get back on track. Let's bounce back. Defense, bounce back. And, yeah, let's go out there next week and pick up this win. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is going to be a phenomenal one. Golden State Warriors and Milwaukee Bucks coming up on Christmas Day. And, yeah, we're going to be doing a post game for that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and excited for Warriors basketball to be returning. And we're going to be doing post-game shows after every Warriors game this season and for every season we can into the future. And that goes for the San Francisco Giants and San Francisco 49ers, of course. So again, thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate all of you. And if you're just checking in, we're wrapping up here, but definitely you can rewind, watch from the beginning, and get the best juicy information. So thank you so much, everyone, and let's get this win next week. Let's go Niners. We are going to come back strong. We are keeping the faith here forever. 49ers faithful. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next week. Go Niners. Let's do it. We're going to get